Hello and welcome to class. So this class is all about the low back and core. If you are somebody who's having a lot of low back pain, then this is the class for you. We're going to be focusing on mildly strengthening the front and back of the core, and then stretching out a couple of key muscles that help relieve low back pain. The psoas muscle that runs along the front of the body, and the QL, the quadratus lumborum muscle that runs along the back of the body. We'll begin in a comfortable seated position. Rest your palms on your thighs, sit up tall, and when you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Take this time to check in with how your body feels today. And check in with how your mind feels today, just observing where your energy levels and your stress levels are at. In time, you'll start to shift your awareness to your breath. And you'll begin to deepen your breath, allowing it to travel past your chest and ribs and all the way into your belly. And as you exhale, you'll start to draw your navel up and into your spine, activating these low, deep muscles in your core. Good. From here, start to make your way onto your back and draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a gentle squeeze, and then massaging your low back, just take a few moments to rock side to side. Draw a few circles with your knees here, getting the hips involved a little bit, but still focusing on the weight of the low back pressing into the ground. We'll hang out here for some time, allowing the weight of the legs to press the pelvis and the low back into the ground. And start to switch the direction of your circles. Good. Grabbing onto the tops of your knees now, straighten out your arms so that your knees stack above your hips. And give your knees a little bit of a wiggle here, just letting the weight of your legs press your pelvis into the ground. All right, then bringing a 90-degree angle in your legs, make sure your low back is pressing into the ground as you activate your core. Reach your hands up to the ceiling and then lift your shoulders off the ground, holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice. Keep the hands reaching up. We're going to take 2 more rounds. Lift the shoulders, press your low back into the ground, and stay for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Keep the knees stacked over the hips and lift for 10, 9, 8, 7. Low back presses into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Lower your hands and lower your feet down. Walk your heels in towards your glutes so that you can touch your heels with your fingertips. Keep your femur bones parallel to one another and your knees hips width distance apart. With a strong breath in, lift your hips off the ground for bridge pose. Holding here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips back down. Same thing. We're going to do this 2 more times. Lift and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower yourself back down. Last round. Bridge pose, lift and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep your tailbone tucked under. 5, 4, 3. Knees, hips width distance apart. And lower back down, vertebra by vertebra. Draw your knees into your chest 1 more time. Give yourself a gentle rock, massaging your low back once again, just re-inviting some length. Then hug your right knee into your chest and extend your left leg long. Taking a twist, cross your right knee over your body and reach your right arm out over to the right. Look over to your right hand and let your body sink into the ground here. After we do back bends like bridge pose or full wheel, it's really important to neutralize the spine afterwards. And these supine twists are a great way to do that. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Good. Unravel from your twist. Drop both knees into your chest. And then switch your legs. Extend your right leg long. Then cross your left knee over your body, coming into a twist on the other side. Reach your left arm out to the left and look over to your left hand. Let your body soften here. And if your left shoulder doesn't touch the ground all the way, or if your left knee doesn't take it all the way to the ground, that's totally fine. You're still getting a twist in your spinal column. Good. Slowly roll back over onto your back. Draw both knees back into your chest one last time. This time, rock up and down the length of your spine, massaging your entire spinal column and all of the muscles that frame your spinal column. Get a little playful with this. Rock as many times as you'd like. You can even pause on your upper back a few moments, trying to reach your toes overhead, maybe even all the way to the ground. Nice. Let's rock about 2 to 3 more times. And then eventually you'll rock up into a seat and stay there. Come into tabletop position. And we'll mobilize the spine. With an inhale, drop your belly, pull your chest forward and look forward. As you exhale, lift your upper back, draw your chin to chest, and spread your shoulder blades. 2 more times with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, lift the upper back. Good. Come back into neutral tabletop position. And for bird dog, extend your left leg back and your right arm forward. Pull your elbow and your knee together, lift your upper back, then re-extend. Elbow to knee. With the breath now, inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, back into tabletop. Other side, right leg back, left arm forward, take a breath in. And exhale, elbow to knee, pull your upper back to the ceiling. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, tabletop. From tabletop, extend your left leg behind you, then cross your left leg over your right, keeping that leg straight, and lower your toes to the ground, opening up your left side body. Turn your shoulders over to the right. So all we're doing here is practicing lateral flexion in the spinal column. So we want to shorten the right side body and lengthen the left side body. Look to your left toes here. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. And come back to tabletop. We'll do the other side. Straighten your right leg back. And then cross your right leg over to the left, coming to the outside of your left leg until the toes come down to the ground. Turn your shoulders to the left and then look over to your left toes. Your right toes. You can even walk your hands over to the left a little bit. Feel the length in the right side body. Getting a little stretch there through the lats, maybe even the psoas. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Make your way back to tabletop position. And from here, tuck your toes under. With an inhale, send your hips up and back, coming into down dog. First down dog of class here. Start with the knees bent to press your chest to your thighs. If you're super rounded in your spine because you're trying to work your legs straight, then really, really bend your knees. Draw your chin to your chest and find a straight line from your hands up to your tailbone. So this is a lot of opening in the shoulders here. I know it's challenging the first few times, but you'll get there soon. Let your neck relax. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Step your right foot forward in between your hands. Lower your left knee down and untuck your toes. With an inhale, rise into low lunge, opening up the left hip flexors here. And now to get into the psoas, start to side bend over to the right. And if you would like to, you can lower your right hand to the ground. If you have a prop nearby, such as a yoga block, you can always use that underneath your right hand here. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, both hands down and step back into down dog. Let's do the second side. Step your left foot in between your hands. You can grab a hold of your ankle if you need to. Tap your right knee down and untuck your toes. Inhale, rise, low lunge. With your exhale, start to lean over to the left. Now opening up the right side body, getting the right hip flexors stretching out, including the psoas muscle, which, as I mentioned in the beginning of class, can sometimes be the root cause of low back pain when you have an extra tight psoas. Left hand can come to the ground or to a block. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, hands down. Step back into down dog. From down dog, tap both knees down. Coming into a wide-legged child's pose, bring your knees as wide as your mat and walk your hands forward towards the top of your mat. Lower your forehead to the ground. As we've done in previous classes, if your ankles have a hard time here, feel free to roll up your mat. They can roll it up halfway or roll up the entire mat even, and then you'll rest your ankles on top of that rolled up portion as to give your ankles some space so that they don't feel so extended, or as we call it, plantar flexion, where you're pointing your toes too much. So it's a great option if you want to roll up your mat, or you can use a blanket as well if you have that nearby. And then same thing, you'll sink into child's pose. From here, walk both hands over to the right, opening up the left side body even more. Energetically guide your left shoulder a little closer to the ground. This is a really nice low back decompression pose. I practice it often when I am experiencing low back pain or tension. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, walk your hands back to center, then over to the left to open your right side body. Energetically guide your right shoulder a little closer to the ground. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out, stay here this time. Inhale, come back to center and walk your hands back in towards your knees. And then lift up to tabletop position, unroll your mat and come to down dog. We're just taking a break before our next child pose exercise. So if you wanted to keep your mat rolled up and use it for the next time we're in child's pose, you absolutely can. When you're ready, come back into wide-legged child's pose. Now this time we're going to do a twist. So as I just demonstrated in the video, of course, you can roll up your mat again here. Now, for the twist, walk your hands in just a few inches, slide your right arm underneath your left, and then lower both hands towards the ground. Reach your left hand forward and your right hand over to the left. This is a nice stretch for the rhomboid muscles in between the shoulder blades, and also a really nice low back stretch as well. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. About one more cycle of breath here. Good. Unravel from your twist and other side. Slide your left arm underneath your right, lowering your left shoulder to the ground and continuing to reach your right hand forward. Once again, giving a stretch to those rhomboid muscles, the ones in between the shoulder blades, and as well as on top of that, we're giving the erector spinae a nice little stretch as well. And you might feel it in your shoulders, your deltoid muscles also. So this is a really nice upper body stretch in general. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let your body sink into the ground for these last few moments here. Unravel from this twist. Reach both hands forward. And then start to walk your hands back in. Come into a seat on your heels and swing your legs forward out in front of you. So we're just transitioning to sitting on our butt. Extend your legs out long. And then bend your left knee. Connect the left sole of your foot to your right inner thigh. Your left knee falls out to the left. Twist to the left. With your right hand, grab a hold of your left knee and reach your left arm overhead. I know that was just a lot of cues. You can always look up at the video if you need some visual direction as well. Now, if you want to go deeper, you can bring your right elbow to the inside of your right knee and bring it towards the ground. Your left hand is reaching towards your right foot, Turn your gaze upwards towards the ceiling and try to keep your chest open here. This stretch can sometimes be quite intense for the side body, so don't forget to breathe. Good. Come back up and then twist your torso to the right so that you're looking at your right toes. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to fold over your right leg, walking both hands towards your right foot. Go as far as you can. And if there's a little bit of a bend in your right knee, that's totally fine. And that's actually going to help relieve some excess strain in the low back anyway. So, in fact, I encourage you to bend your right knee just a little bit here. Then eventually let your spine round as much as it can as you drape your body over your right thigh and stretch your QL, the quadratus lumborum, on your left side. That stretch in your low back that you're feeling on the left, that is your QL. A few more cycles of breath here. Let your neck relax and your head drop. And then slowly roll back up into a tall seat. We'll switch legs. Extend your left leg long and bend your right knee, connecting the right sole of your foot to your left inner thigh. Twist to the right. With your left hand, grab a hold of your right knee and place your right hand down behind you. Then reach your right arm to the ceiling and side bend to the left, as if you're reaching your right hand towards your left toes. Not that you have to grab a hold of your toes by any means here. You're just reaching that direction. You can always bring your left elbow to the ground inside your left knee or to the top of your left thigh here if you want it to get a little deeper. Turn your gaze upwards towards the ceiling. Keep your chest nice and open. Deep breath in. And exhale, come out of the pose, lift back up. Now twist your torso to the left, look to your left toes, and start to fold over your left leg. Bring a little bit of a bend in your left knee, especially if you're feeling too much of a stretch in your low back. And then fold your body over your left thigh. Let your spine round, your head drop. In time, letting your body melt deeper and deeper into this pose. As we've practiced in previous classes, every exhale, you let go of some little bits of tension in your body. Slowly start to roll yourself back up into a tall seat. Nice work here. All right, extend both legs out in front of you, and then you'll bend your knees, connect the soles of your feet, and let your knees come out to the sides for butterfly pose. We're going to start by squeezing our heels as close into our pelvic floor as possible. With your hands, grab a hold of your feet. Now, if you're like me and your knees are really high in this pose, which I expect most of us are going to be in that position, then walk your feet further forward so you have a little more space. Try to flatten your back as much as you can by pulling your chest forward as best as you can, working on anteriorly tilting the pelvis, which we talked about in the hips and knees class. And little by little, start to fold yourself forward. In time, reaching your forehead towards your toes, but don't feel like you have to force anything here. The easier you go on yourself, the better experience you'll have in your low back. And that is the goal of this class, that we just release tension in the low back. We'll stay here for some time. You can always play with the distance your heels are to your pelvic floor. In my body, personally, the further my feet are away from my pelvic floor, the better it feels. But for some people, when they bend their knees more and pull their feet closer to them, it feels better. So there's no real right or wrong way to do it, but there might be a way that feels better for you. So try to find that position. Slowly start to roll yourself back up into a tall seat. Grab a hold of your knees for a moment and open your chest by pulling your chest forward, arching your spine, and then extend your legs out to the sides, coming into a wide-legged seated position. From here, place your hands down behind you. Come onto your fingertips and push the ground away to open your chest. So our goal here is to extend the spine and anteriorly tilt the pelvis. In time, we'll progress to folding forward here, but for now, try to keep your spine long, almost in an extended arched position, and work your shoulders to be in front of your hips. If you're rounded, then really focus on pushing your fingertips into the ground and lifting your chest. As you can see in the video, I'm trying to demonstrate what it should look like. It's a really subtle stretch here, but if you're doing it right, you will feel a stretch in your hamstrings and inner thighs, even if you're really flexible there like I am. Hold this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Gently release. Grab the backs of your knees and pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Grab a hold of opposite elbows and just bring your forehead to your knees. Pause here for a moment, letting your legs relax and letting your low back reset. And then from here, we'll let go of your legs. Place your hands down behind you and your feet hips width distance apart. With an inhale, reverse tabletop position. Lift your hips up to the ceiling. Hold it as you exhale. Look up to the ceiling. We've done lots of forward folding today, so we're just going to counter it with one more little back bend. Nice. Lower your hips back down and make your way onto your back. One more time, we'll take a twist to reset the spine. Draw your right knee into your chest. Then cross your right knee over your body. Reach your right arm out to the right and look over to your right hand. If your right knee doesn't come all the way to the ground, and if your right shoulder doesn't come all the way to the ground, no big deal here. Just go as far as you can without straining your spine too much. Unravel from your twist. Draw both knees into your chest, and then extend your right leg long. Let's switch sides. Cross your left knee over your body and reach your left arm out to the left. Take a few deep breaths in here. And deep breaths out, letting your body sink into the ground. Using this pose to relax, almost like we're just prepping for our Shavasana here. Good. Unravel from your twist. One last time, draw both knees into your chest. Roll yourself up into a tiny little ball. Take a nice deep squeeze. And then let your body go. Stack your knees over your hips one more time. Gentle rock side to side. Just like we did at the beginning of class, notice if anything has changed, if anything feels different than at the beginning of class. And then slowly make your way into Shavasana. Extend your legs long. Reach your arms out to the sides with your palms facing up. Final tensing exercise. Tense every muscle in your body from head to toe. Hold it for another 3, 2, 1, and let go. Come to your most natural rhythm of breath. No more control or effort involved. And for the next few minutes here, let your entire body rest. If you're feeling still some tension in your low back, you can connect the soles of your feet and let your knees drop out to the sides, or place the soles of your feet on the mat and drop your knees in towards one another in what we call broken bridge pose. I will take my Shavasana this way because it feels really nice for me in my low back. And if it feels nice for you, you can stay there. If you preferred your knees out wide and the soles of your feet together, you can take that variation. And of course, if you like traditional Shavasana with your legs extended long, you are more than welcome to take that variation. It's up to you and whatever your body needs today. Slowly start to bring your awareness back into your body. Give a little wiggle into your hands and your feet, your fingers and your toes. And then extend your legs long if your knees were bent. Reach your arms overhead. Take a deep breath in and point your toes. Final full body stretch. And a deep breath out to let go. Bend your knees and roll over to the side. And with your eyes closed, press up into a comfortable seat. Take your time here, no rush. Once you arrive, rest your palms on your thighs and sit up tall. Take a moment to observe how the body feels now at the very end of class, after all the work we've put in to decompress the low back, to stretch the muscles around the low back and strengthen the core. And as always, take time to thank yourself for showing up today and putting in the work. Great job today. I look forward to seeing you back here on your mat for another class very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.